Do this. Good morning. I'm Claire Louise Ho from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. I sound quite chirpy. I guess I am. I'm kind of tired. I didn't sleep very well. I got neighbours next door. They've got a different time zone to me. No doubt they're saying the same thing this morning, because I've woken them up. So I'm going to be pulling cards out for the collective, as usual. Doing some channeling for the collective, see what the guides want to tell us today, but I'm also giving mini reads as well. So if you're interested in a mini read, all you have to do is check out that pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat. Hey, Jamie. It tells you it's by donation. There's a PayPal link in there. That's my preferred method, but you can use Super Chat or Super Sticker here in YouTube if you like, if that's easier for you. If you've got a question for your higher self, put a capital Q at the start of your comment so that I can find your question easily. You can just leave it open to your higher self if you want. Just tell you whatever it wants to tell you. Hi, Barbara. So let's get some cards out for the collective first. I've had about 4 hours sleep. I'm not very awake at all. But I'll be alright. I'll survive. Hi, Maria. Let's get some cards out, see what we've got going on today. There we go. Rare knowledge. We know something. Apparently. It's rare. There's not many people knowing it. There's not many people doing this work, you know. Dating pool becomes sparse. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Christine. Let's get a cat out. Chicken's already been in and out. Who's this? Gratitude. I think we're going to be grateful for things. I think this is what it's saying. I think it's the message I keep on getting over and over again. If we've got to wait at the moment, and we do, because it's coming up in the energies over and over again, and not just in my readings either, in the astrology too. But if we've got to wait going on right now for what it is that we want, for this next chapter of our life, which is a significant one, I talked about it a little bit in the energy update today, we're going to be grateful for the wait. Like, we're going to actually be grateful for it and be thankful that it didn't happen. Thanks, Christine. Oh, this is a new one. It's very, very cropped. It's cute, though. I like it. The first wear. And maybe it's because of that rare knowledge I was picking up. Rare. It's rare. There's not many people doing the work. And if someone is doing the work, then they need to do the work. Do you know what I mean by that? If we're waiting on someone else, we want them to do the work. Not just, oh, like, you're kind of doing the work. You've done a lot of the work. Let me just let you in my life and you know? Not that. Actually getting them to do it. And following it through. And doing it all. So it's like the universe is kind of keeping us away from what it is that we want so that we do the work. That's us. We've got to do the work too. We've got to get ready. But also, other people involved have got to get ready too. Got to get ready. Hey, Mandy. And it's not just a readiness thing, it's the work. You like the new desk? Thank you. I've actually ordered another one of these shelves so I can have them side by side and have the cards in a more organized kind of thing. I do like this shelf, it's cute. I'll put my flowers on the top of it. So what else have we got? Let's get some tarot out. Anyone wants a mini read, just go for it. Go for your life whenever you want. I'll batch them up as usual because that seems to work really well for me and for the flow of the show. Show flow. I'm going to get some of these out. The Book of Shadows Tarot. It's very yellow. I don't particularly like yellowy kind of. It looks more yellow on camera, in fact, than it is in real life. I'm not a big fan of yellowy wood tones, but it's alright. It's worth it. I prefer more ashy tones, you know. More like this, really. Oh, we've got the Goddess. Starting out as we mean to go on with the Goddess, the Empress, the Divine Feminine. This is the card of the Divine Feminine. That's a good start. I like that. Thank you, guides. It starts out with us. Oh, look, 2 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. But it didn't come out. I had my aircon fixed. They came because I told them it's like warmer in my room now than it is outside. If I have all the windows open, it's nice and cool. Close the windows when it's mosquito time, put the aircon on, and it heats the room up, and it's damp. And they sent 2 men over, and one was inside and the other one was outside, and they did something with the air conditioning unit outside. I think they put coolant in it, and now it works like a dream. Like, it's dry and cool in here. I love it. You have the children. That's nice. And then what have we got? Oh, we've got the circle. The circle. So, the Goddess and then the circle. Don't need to read the Goddess out. We know who she is. She's Divine Feminine. But who's the circle? Circle of Guides? Is it? What does that look like? Thanks, Jamie. Where's the circle? That says the circle on it, but it's not the circle card. Here it is. The circle. A circle is a sacred space that you create for any spiritual work that you do. This is about creating a safe and clean environment, setting boundaries, focusing exclusively on the spiritual for a time. Boundaries, sacred space, safe and clean environment. Things are being sorted out, aren't they? Things are being sorted out right now. We're going to be grateful for the wait. Goddess is sorting things out. In other words, the Divine Feminine is sorting things out. For the Divine Feminine, what I've been picking up is it's mostly emotional. It's mostly about empowerment, that kind of thing. You know, putting into practice what we've learned already about empowerment, about having our boundaries and all of that. Divine Masculine has got a little bit more on the go at the moment, but let's see if it talks about that. So this it's like the 7 of Pentacles card. That it's like just sort your environment out. Just keep on sorting your environment out. Your daughter got them, Jessica. Oh, cool. Is she enjoying them? Lainey, off you go. Spam bots. So, sorting out the environment. Hey, Hope. What else? I'd like to get the God card out next, and then tell us what the Divine Masculine's doing. That twin flame reading was very popular that I did. Maybe I need to do more twin flame readings because I guess people are having a hard time with it at the moment. Focus on that a little bit more. I thought about doing a pick a card today, recording a pick a card and putting it out later on about 2022. What do you think? What do you expect in 2022? Those kind of week aheads and month aheads and year ahead readings aren't that popular in my pick a card reads. But what will the new year bring? That might be a better one than a yearly kind of thing. What have we got here? Ooh. We've got Samhain and the Nine of Fire. She's wandering around in the moonlight. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Jenny. You're still doing Christmas, Jenny? Moved on from that. Almost New Year, how exciting! Only one more psychic cafe left of the year. Just wander around in the moonlight, in the unknown. Things to be revealed. I decided to do my nails after training last night so that they could be good until I go to training later on. I really like this colour, it's so cool. And the Nine of Fire. Let's read those guys out. Oh. Oh, there's people coming back to the island. My friend is back. Well, she's not really my friend. She's just someone I train with. When she's here, she tends to come a couple of times a year, but of course hasn't been for 2 years. And another one that I train with as well, and he's a fighter. He was showing us the pictures of his last fight here after training. And he's like, you were there? I'm like, I know, I remember. I was ringside. I probably got splattered with his blood as well. So that's cool. People are coming back. Tourism again at last. People messaging the page because I manage the Muay Thai page for this island. Saying a fight night's back on. So not a chance. We've got to get so many more people tourists here before that starts up again. I want it to start up again. I miss it. Oh, I miss it. It was so much fun. It'd be even more fun now. Just because of this, see, I like what's happened here for me and for the community on this island while it's been so quiet the last 2 years, is we've found, well, I have certainly, but other people seem to have too, found your people, we found our people here. Very close-knit community now. And yeah, find nights will be incredible. Anyway, let's find this card. What does it look like? She's walking in the moonlight. I'm excited. So I hope he's going to stick around for ages because he's great. He's got a gym somewhere else. He's from South America somewhere. The moon. Dark days ahead. Seriously? She is wandering around in the moonlight, in the unknown, really. Things lurking, This card shows a witch honouring the spirits, seeking guidance from the ancestors. She accepts the darkness without fear, but with respect, knowing that she is strengthening her connection with the divine. Darkness, the unknown, reflection, preparation, strong spiritual connections, communication between realms. Okay, so having to tend to environment because she's walking around in the unknown. And you know what happens when we're in the unknown, the divine feminine. We do head trips. That's what happens. I do anyway. I don't know everyone else does too. So we flip-flop from being sure about it, and then we're like, oh no, I'm just making it up. I'm being a mess, really. The Nine of Fire, what's this? Chosha. Oh, wow. Thanks for your donation, Hope. I'll get to these minis very shortly. I just want to read this 9 and 5 first. Who is this dude? First masculine that we've got in this reading is Pluto. Inevitable. It's inevitable. It's not a surprise and it's inevitable. We know the way it's going to go down. We can see it. There's no surprises here. We've got a new chapter starting in our lives and we know what it's going to be. But then we trip out because we're like, yeah, but it's not happening yet, so maybe I'm wrong. More often we see them coming. We know we should prepare, but we resist. I am preparing, in fact. The changes Pluto promises are usually difficult and ones we'd rather forgo. While that's not possible, there is at least a promise of riches at the end of the journey. It's going to be good, but the way is going to be tricky. Celebrate Christmas for 40 days. Good on you. I didn't put that much weight on this time. I mean, not that I was doing Christmas things, but I went out an extra night, so that is a Christmas thing. And ate that marzipan stuff, and my body's not used to eating stuff like that at all. Can't see my abs as much though. Sorting that out straight away. And now the boys at training, they were saying, "Oh, don't focus on your weight so much." Not so much to me, but to another girl there. And it's like, but we've got to, right? Because if the weight goes up like that and you notice you've put a bit of fat on, you can do something about it straight away and then it's easy. If you ignore it, leave it a couple of weeks, put even more on. It's much harder to get rid of it. So nip it in the bud. It's not like we're obsessed over it. More often we see them coming. We know we should prepare, but we resist. The changes Pluto promises are usually difficult, and ones we'd rather forgo. While that's not possible, there is at least a promise of riches at the end of the journey. Shadow side of this card shows a strong and dangerous denial of Pluto's events. Like the repressed shadow self, these repressed feelings can lead to explosive and unstable actions, which will not only delay the inevitable, but only make it more difficult. Right, Jessica, especially like when doing readings about it. It's like, what evidence do I have? Oh, actually, only readings. Oh, no. What am I doing? And then I'm like, no, I've got plenty more evidence. What am I talking about, you know? Oh, it's hard, isn't it? We want the evidence. We want like solid evidence. And even when we get that, we're still a little bit trippy about it. Your twin flame's doing inner work at the moment. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, that coffee's good today. It's because I'm tired, isn't it? Okay, let's do some mini reads before we move on from that. So the inevitable, that change is coming. We know it. We've got to get prepared for it and not ignore that. Jamie, higher self-guidance. Where's my cards? Yeah. Jamie. Meditate and decide. New year, new chapter. I might do that. What's your new chapter? New year, new chapter for the pick a card. It just popped into my head. Jamie, meditate and decide. Yes, we still have choice in all of this. So, meditate and decide. What is it that you want? You've got to get clear on it. Some of us have been a bit too fluffy in our decisions. Do you really want it? Are you going to do what it takes? This isn't going to be easy. This next chapter, especially at the start, is not going to be easy. They've told us that over and over again. Like, there's going to be a tower at the start. It's going to be tricky. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be criticism. Comes out over and over again. Pretty much every pick a card, deeper dive that I do has it in it. That there's going to be jealousy, criticism. You're going to have to be strong. Yeah. And we'll only be strong if we've made a clear decision that we'll do whatever it takes to get there, right? It's like, in a way, it's like me when I decided to really give the YouTube thing a hot go. And I just knew that I was going to have to be consistent with it and work at it and pour that time in and just do it. And it's actually slower than I expected. But I would have given up. Of course I would have given up. Why would I get up at 5:30 in the morning? I used to do this every day. Remember what? Remember that? When I used to do this show every day? 3 times a week. I'm like, how did I do it every day? What the hell? Claire. Anyway, who would do that unless they had this and made a firm decision, right, to do it? So, Jamie, your next chapter, you've not made a firm decision on it yet. You need to be really firm in it because it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky, and then when you hit those hurdles, if you think it's tricky now, you just wait and see. It's one of those decisions that you need to make where you get to the point is like, yes, I want this and I'm going to get this now. I'm going to create that for that next chapter in my life. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. I'll do whatever it takes. That firmness is where you need to get to. So meditate is saying to make that decision. Flowing connection. Nice. So it could be about relationships for you, Jamie. In the flow. You might have one to prepare you. A preparing kind of a relationship is what I'm getting from that. It'll flow though. Your higher self knows how to lead you there in the easiest way. Our higher selves, they know our little intricacies, our resistances, our triggers. They know how to get around us. They know our preferences and the easiest way to get to us. They know how we'll make a decision the most easiest. That's why they give us carrots. Is like, oh, we'll just tell her this in a reading and then she'll do it. They know. They know us. And constantly trying to get us there to where we want to go, It's cold in here. Hope. Are you on the right path with your inner work and healing? Is she? Is Hope on the right path with her inner work and healing? Yes. Tell us more about that. What more can she do? Clearing past romances. Do clear it. What does that even mean? We get these messages, don't we? So like, just let go and stuff like that. Let go of past romance. And there's a lot of things to that. There's a lot of layers to it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. There's a lot of attachments that we have. An attachment could be to an actual person, like we haven't actually let them go. We still think they're going to come back or something like that. There's that. But then there's also still being annoyed at an ex. That is an attachment too. That could be something that we need to let go of. It could be an annoyance at them or feeling a victim to any exes or what happened. It could be holding a torch for someone or even believing that it could have worked out. Something could have worked out or should have worked out or whatever. Or believing that someone should have been different than they were. Or it different than it was. And there's all of these things that can have us not letting go. It's a complicated process. It's what I'm about to go through as well. I saw my ex yesterday. I didn't see him to speak to. I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm not going to instigate it. I'm not going to go see him, but we will bump into each other. I was in a restaurant eating noodle soup, and he drove past. I'm like, oh, he's back on the island. I thought he was. So it's very long now. And I thought, okay, and I knew this was happening. I've been dreaming of it, dreaming of what to say, because definitely needs to end. I am realized that we cannot be friends. And I need to say that. And I know that I need to say that for it to be done. And so it could be something like that. You see, that's another layer of things, is when we get to that point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to go there again. So you've got past romances to clear. I guess that's what you've been doing, because it says that you're on track with that. Oh, move away and breathe. Yeah, there's that I was just talking about. Hope. Space to breathe. Space to be yourself, so that you actually feel like you are properly single. You see, this is what my friend said to me too. I'll say, I've been single for ages, and they go, no, you haven't. You've always had him there. You guys, it's like you're together, but you're not together. And they're all right. I haven't been properly single. This is saying that you'll get to the point where you're properly single. Room to breathe. Where there's nobody there in your energy connected with you. You know, you like my peace cactus. It's doing a heart at the front there. All about letting go. So just continue on with that process, because as I said, it's complicated, and there's a lot of different things and layers to it. Belinda, you got it the wrong way around. You sent me a money request instead of a donation. Oh, then you got it right second time. Thank you, Belinda, for your donation. Did I get a question from you? Oh, I got a Q, but I didn't get a question. You meant to put your question after the Q, not just a Q by itself. All right, who have we got now? Maria. So I'm waiting on yours, Belinda, your question. Maria, what do you need to work on to get ready for this new start? What? Mystery healing. Not telling, says your higher self. Not telling you. You're just going to have to go. You're just going to have to follow the signs, follow the yellow brick road. Just going to have to go with it. It's not telling you. There's stuff to heal. It doesn't want you to know beforehand. It wants you to deal with it as it comes up. Anything else? Resistance to being creative, or resistance to being successful, whatever you're resisting. So a good way to instigate all of that mystery healing is to focus on your success, and maybe asking yourself, how am I resisting it? We're not always resisting it. I know the law of attraction teachers say that. If you haven't got it already, you're resisting it. Perhaps we're just not ready. Not always resistance, you know what I mean? Just more to learn. It's not that you're resisting learning it. It's not always resistance, but you got resistance here. So you could ask yourself, what is my resistance? That was very important for me to do way back in 2011 when I published my first book. And I said to my guides, great, now I can reach millions of people and help them, because I've got a way of doing it without, me having to do one-on-one readings with everyone. And they're like, yeah, right, millions of people buying your book. That's like tens of millions of income for you, while you're only just letting enough in for the bills. That ain't gonna happen. No leaps like that. It's like, damn it. So then I had to work on my abundance. And I had to do this. I had to ask myself, what's my resistance? Okay, then, I'm not going to let that in. Show me. Show me, universe. Show me higher self where my resistances are. And that was quite the trip then. That took me years to do that. That is the easiest way to go for your next healing path kind of thing, to speed it up. I won't tell you what it is, but it's a good start, isn't it? Focusing on the abundance and how you are pushing it away, resisting it. Hey, Jamie. Hi, buddy. Arabella. Hello. And Mr. Bowers. Hello. What do you need to work on to let go of your choice Or self-sabotage with negative attention. Oh, do you? Do you? You're like throwing spanners in the works. Negative attention. How could you let go of that? It sounds like a fun thing, but I guess not. Simplicity. Simply forgive yourself. Simply forgive yourself. Sometimes we just got to make it okay. It's like, yeah, I've got this going on. Isn't it cute? You know, that kind of thing. Just accepting it. It's the shadow work. It's like, damn, I do that, but it's kind of cute. That's one way of forgiving yourself. I find that's the easiest way. It's just to accept it and go, okay, well, yeah, I've got that going on. How else? Don't beat yourself up for it. That's the worst. You'll never go away from it if you do that. Romance and get what I want. Is that what it is? Is it in your romantic situations? Yeah, so it could be a kind of a manipulation to get attention. Any kind of an attention. Pay attention. Pay attention, divine masculines or undivine masculines. Could be. Got guitar finger. Won't focus. Fingers falling apart because of the guitar. You will get what you want in relationships. It's just shadow work. It's shadow work which isn't about trying to fix that thing that we think is wrong with us. It's about accepting it. This is a part of me. This is a part of me that I've gained because of all the crap that I've been through, and it's crap. Like, it's hard. Life is really hard, and we've been through really crappy things. No wonder we've got all this stuff going on. You know, like I said the other day, you get yourself to the point where you just know yourself and you've accepted all of these things and no one else can bring it up. Like, if someone brings it up, like, oh, you've got this or you did this in the past, it's like, yeah, and what? I know I did. What, do you think I wasn't there? I was there. It's me. I know I do that. I'm a human being. When we get to that point where we're like cool about it, anything, it's very powerful. We can be very powerful then because we can do whatever. We're not scared anymore. We're not trying to hide. So, yeah, that. Shadow work, accepting it. Accepting that you do that sabotage and just thinking it's really cute instead. It loses all its power over us when we do stuff like that. So it's not so much about trying to figure out how to undo it. It's just accepting it. There'll be a way out then. So, Belinda, thanks for your donation, Belinda. How do your love life going to pan out? Oh, that's a good question. It's okay. I had a little trepidation there, but rest, relax, relieve. It's going to be okay. Now, it's going to be okay. You can relax about it, but it is a path. This touch card means you're going to get a little bit of what you want. It's not what you want to hear. You want to hear that you get everything that you want, and you will eventually, but first of all, you need to have a little bit of what you want. So sometimes we get relationships come through because they've got one particular aspect that they're very good at, or they've got very strongly, like some energy they've got very strongly, or a lesson to teach you kind of strongly. And we get attracted to them. Not that they're a lot better than our exes, but they've just got that special thing that you need to learn at the moment. I feel, do you know what I mean by that? So, like, as I said, our higher selves, they know how to get us where we want to go. They know our intricacies. And if you've got a particular lesson to learn and there's that person that has just got that special source to be able to teach you that, even if like everything else about them is not what you'd want, you're still going to get attracted to them and get in there. for that touch of what they do have for you. I think the trouble is with relationships, we tend to then get attached. It's either saying that it's coming, or that the person that you've got in your life at the moment is that they're just a bit of something. Not everything. Sorry, my skin's coming off the end of my finger. It's annoying me. It's like flat. Can you see? Flapping up. I'm just chew it off. And what is it that your person or your next person has got a little bit of, so that or it's not that they've got a little bit of it, they've got a lot of something, but they're mostly what you don't want, and you could be tripping out as to why you're even attracted to them, or why did you choose them. It's this reason. It's showing you some kind of a vulnerability that you've got. It's like, I'm trying to think of an example in my life. I was vulnerable to, well, when I was doing that abundance thing, when I was, focused on that and what my blocks were there, then I was vulnerable to kind of successful, shallow people at that time. I was vulnerable to them because of that issue that I had, I was trying to sort out. Yeah, that's a great example. And so I brought someone into my life that was like that. Mostly what I didn't want. But he had something going on. He had something going on to teach me. It's that. It's exactly that. It's showing where you're vulnerable. It's showing where you're lacking power in your life. Is it, I don't know, it could be someone that's in your life at the moment. So there's an area that you feel not good enough. You've attracted someone in that's got a lot of that thing. It feels like they can just take over, like you're not going to have a problem with them anymore because they can sort that thing out and you'll never have to deal with it yourself, and that's not true. They're going to kind of explode that area where you don't feel good enough and make you feel even more vulnerable about it. But then you'll see it clearly. That's how your love life's going to pan out. Lessons. Come along to our Psychic Cafe Club, everybody. If you're not already in there, it's a Facebook group where we keep in touch. Okay, so I've got all of those done. Let's go back to the tarot for a short time. Keep those minis coming in, the mini requests coming in. I'll do another batch of them shortly. So we've got the goddess. Well, we've got rare knowledge. We've got gratitude. We're going to be grateful for this period. Even though we're kind of resisting it right now, we're going to be grateful for it. We're going to be happy that we had to wait, or whatever is going on at the moment. Something about the work. Keep on tending to the environment. We're getting clearer and clearer and more purposeful and more decision-y, more like I'm absolutely in on this. Then, because we're wandering around in the dark right now, so much unknown, the moon card here. It's inevitable. We know it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It is. We know that. The Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows. It's a book. I've got to look at the pictures in this book, because here it is. Because what it says on the card isn't what it says in the book. It's a Hierophant. Your Book of Shadows serves as your own personal spell book and magic diary. It's a record of everything that you've been through. Okay. Spiritual lessons. The word Hierophant comes from the Greek words tahira, meaning holy or sacred, and phanein, meaning, what's that? Phanein, meaning to show, bring to light, or to make known. Oh, okay. I need to look up that word, phanein. I've never seen that before. Phainine. 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 Yeah, it's Greek. The word phenomenon is derived from the Greek words phainine, meaning bring to light, and phainistai, meaning to appear. It's more directly derived from the late Latin word phenomenon, which is also from the Greek phenomenon, meaning that which appears. Bring it to light, okay. Probably see that word everywhere now. To show, to bring to light, or to make known. So hera phainine, sacred bringing to light. Okay, but in paganism no one does this. Reveals the sacred to us. The divine reveals her or himself. We can make sense of it as we see fit. So this is about our own spiritual journeys and our own learning. Remember we got that guidance a couple of months ago about we each have our own wisdom based on the experience that we've had in life. And that wisdom is very particular for where we're going, where we're headed in life. Which is why we need to follow our own wisdom and not someone else's. Because the wisdom that they've gained in their life is for them and their passage forward. We can so easily get knocked off track by following someone else's path or believing them over ourselves, So our own book of shadows becomes our teacher and guide. In other words, the book of shadows is everything that we've been through. Yeah. Most of us begin with a blank book. The book holds nothing. Nothing except every possibility that exists. Just as we create our future with each moment we live, so we create our personal magical journey with each page of our book of shadows that we fill. The world is our classroom. What lessons will manifest and shape your path? More lessons! Yeah, right, Mr. Bounce. Mysteries. Knowledge, tradition, understanding, beliefs practiced in daily life. It's rare. It's rare. Most people just want to be led, Most people just want the answer, the easy route. Just give me the answer. That's why a lot of people get into religions. Just like, tell me what to do and I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that thing. That makes me a good person. I'll get into heaven. It's making my life crap here now on earth, but I'll believe that there's something afterwards that I'm working for now. The actual work of going within, of following our own path, there's not many people doing that. That's why it's rare knowledge. Gaining the gems from it. What next? It is all very mysterious, these ones, isn't it? But there we have it, the lovers. I thought it was going to be the Two of Cups that came out because it showed itself before. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. These are our last two cards, Beltane, the lovers. Sweet. Dancing around the maypole. Yeah, it's like a murder mystery, isn't it? It's like a spiritual quest, It does make things more interesting. And when we start getting clues from the universe, and it's like, oh, I seem to be being led to this. That's interesting. Like, Yeah, it can get exciting. Like, whatever's next. We're not seeing the full picture. It's inevitable and we kind of know what it is, but we're not seeing the full picture. It's going to be bigger and better than we thought. So I guess that's why we're being prepared, right? Because we haven't got the full picture yet. We can't possibly have the full picture. Our higher self does that. Where are the lovers? There they are. Sun god is no longer a baby, but fully grown. At this festival, the god and the goddess become man and wife, and pagans celebrate their union and fertility. This holiday is like the wedding of the god and goddess. Divine counterparts coming together. Not only coming together, sealing the deal, choosing each other. Baby God has grown into manhood, nearing his prime. Since just after Yule, he's been coming into his power. Beltane celebrates their union, their fertility, and all its promises. It's on the opposite side of Samhain, which we had out before. The unknown. This is when it all comes to light. On the wheel of the year, which is there on the bottom of the deck. Like Samhain, this is a time when the veil between the worlds is thin. As with much of pagan symbolism, the Beltane symbol of the maypole is obviously sexual, isn't it? This holiday celebrates virility and the joy of sexual pleasure and, by extension, of life in its prime. For some, this time, just before the peak of life, is sweet and the best, is the sweetest and the best. This card, with its revelers, maypole, and passion god and goddess, highlights both the holiday itself and the meaning of the card, the joy, the beauty of choosing wisely. Yeah, it's when they choose each other. When one makes a decision that makes the heart glad, prolific life generally follows. So some of us were waiting until we're 100% sure, both the god and the goddess, both the divine masculine and the divine feminine are choosing this. It's got to be a conscious choice because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy path, so it needs to be definitely chosen. I watched an interesting video yesterday from some, I don't know, I can't remember what his name is. Oh, Jesus something, his name is. He does body language stuff. I don't know why he came up on my YouTube channel. I've watched him a few times. Pretty interesting guy. But he was talking about men and why there's not very many good men out there. And he said because men need a challenge. They need to have a purpose. And not many men have got a purpose anymore. Life has become too easy. In a way, the purpose that some men have had to make life easy, to find solutions for things, to create things, has made it so other men are disempowered because life becomes too easy. They've got instant access to everything that they would want, so they can become really lazy. And so there's a lot of like ineffectual men out there that are prone to depression because they've got no purpose because everything comes too easily to them. But it makes life hard as a result. And then you've got the this proliferation of narcissists as well. That's the other kind of men that we've got at the moment. And he was just going on, about, so there's these empty souls that women are kind of attracted to because they can see the potential in them and they want to spark this, a purpose in the masculine, but it kind of just doesn't happen because the masculine needs to do that themselves. I thought it very interesting. So, in other words, the divine masculine is going to be one of those people that have a purpose, one of those rare people that have a purpose. So important, isn't it? Life would be boring without it. So glad I do this because, yeah, I couldn't imagine life without having a purpose like this stuff that I do. Anyway, the divine masculine is going to have a purpose, but they need to step up. Yeah, because the masculine has had it too easy, right? Society's been on the masculine side. They've had it too easy, and it's quite disempowering, very disempowering to them. We're seeing that now. So the divine masculines are the ones that step forward with a purpose, but they've actually got to choose to be in this union too. This is the choice. Readers always say that, right? The lovers. Yeah, it's about the lovers, but it's also about a choice. I get it now. We've got to choose to be in it because it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be rich, and we know that. It's the start of a new chapter. Following your heart, making a good choice, happy, healthy partnership, finding the perfect match. And the Three of Fire. That's the new path. Three of Wands, it's the new path. Both need to choose it, like consciously choose it. So, what these cards are saying is, just keep on preparing, just keep on sorting yourself out, keep on getting to that point where you're absolutely choosing your next chapter, because you're going to be glad that you had this way, because you don't want to rush into this and you don't want to push them into it. They've got to make that conscious decision. If we somehow manipulate them into making it before they've actually made it, or getting into the union before they've really chosen it, you'll regret it. It'll backfire. They'll back out of it. Then they're like, well, I didn't really want to do this. I told you I wasn't ready, and all of that stuff. We've all experienced that, haven't we? I've experienced both sides of it. I've experienced someone kind of manipulating me into a relationship and then me pulling away, well, and saying that, well, I didn't really choose it. You didn't give me time to choose it. You kind of pushed me into it. And I've done it as well. I've had that done. I've done that to others as well, and had them say things like that. Well, I told you that I wasn't really ready. I've told you that I didn't really want a committed relationship or whatever, and get disappointed by that without realizing, oh, it's because I pushed them into it. Like this time, we're not going to push them into it because it needs to be this very conscious decision of getting into it. It's important. 3 of 5, Venus. Goddess Venus is almost universally equated with love and romance, beauty and pleasure. She also governs creativity, talents of all sorts, and art. As an astrological player, Venus is true to her image and certainly represents love, partnerships, and marriage. Those, however, are just one facet of Venus's energy. At her most basic, she represents attraction, both what we're attracted to and what we attract to ourselves. Looking at this idea in terms of law of attraction, we draw towards us and are drawn toward what we value and what we desire. The 3 of Fire denotes the energy of attraction, whether to another person, to an ideal, or to an item. We can see by this card and those surrounding it, lovers, how the attraction itself affects the situation. In addition, the nature of the thing desired or value may be revealed. Shadow side of this card indicates revulsion, denial of attraction, or attraction thwarted. And of course, the 3 of Wands is about that new path starting off, so let's not forget that. It's complicated energy, and it feels like the universe is trying to manage us through this, but there needs to be a definite, clear decision on both parts at the same time. This is why relationships are so complicated. It's easier to manifest anything else. Relationships are tricky because you've got 2 people involved and they've got to be on the same page at the same time. The universe has got its work cut out. You have purpose, Mr. Bowers. You spread love and happiness. Good. Yeah, and it's a total turn-off, isn't it, when guys just don't have any purpose. Like, what would you like to do? If you could do anything, what would you do? It's one of my favourite questions when I meet people. I went on a date one time and he said, I just want to be. I don't want to have to do anything. I just want to be. It's like, Jesus, let me get away from you right now. Yeah, depression. Thank you, Jessica. Anyone else want a mini? Let's do Jessica. High self-guidance for Jessica. Something is over, Jessica. Accept it and re-choose. Something's over. But you've not been accepting it. You need to move forward. Don't try and retrieve something from the past. Accept that it's completed. And then move forward. And then choose, like, what would be better than this? You're stuck. Stuck on someone or stuck on something here, Jessica. Not good for you. Could be the something. Service, doubt cancels abundance. Yeah, it could be about work or about money. Yes. Or something that you've been manifesting or trying to manifest and it's not happening. It could be that too. Yeah, it could be that. Hey, Stella. Check out the pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top, Stella, for how to get a mini read. Tells you how to do it. Service, doubt cancels abundance. So service, how you're of service in the world. This is your work. Because remember, we don't want to be of service in romantic relationships. Let's not do that. That's codependency. Yeah, it could be time to accept. This could be trying to get money through a certain means. Persisting with it and it's not going to happen. This is reminding me of when I was abundantly challenged and had a lot of blocks there. I was very susceptible to, what can I call them? Well, MLMs, get rich quick schemes, fanciful thinking, and those kind of things, they prey on people that have got abundance issues. When someone is feeling like they don't have very much power and abundance, very easily convinced by people like that, oh, this is easy, just do this. And it doesn't work. So I don't know if you're doing that, but it's reminding me of this energy of when I was in this state in my life. And then you persist, because your upline or whatever you call them, they're going on at you saying it will work, it won't. They're like these evil collectors of disempowered people. They take all your money. They know that that's how it works. Pretty ruthless, huh? So a way that you've been trying to obtain money is what it feels like, is coming from a doubt about abundance. You've got to accept it and re-choose. You see, that kind of persistence is very different than the kind of persistence that I was talking about. With my YouTube thing, I realized how powerful the YouTube platform is. I think it was from like watching Joe Rogan when I first got to watching him, and then like the numbers of people that he was getting to. And I was like, wow, that's huge. I started to see how this idea, obviously. Oh, excuse me. I started to see the power of it and realize that I persist in that, it's going to funnel people into my business and it works. I could see that. Now, me being persistent on that is very different than the persistence that I had in the MLM kind of stuff that I tried out. Oy. So however you've been focused on your service is kind of based around a lack perspective rather than an abundance perspective, which is easy to do. We can get focused on like, oh, how can I pay the next bill and all of that, instead of like, how can I create an incredible business? So my mindset shifted when I was looking at YouTube, and it was like, oh yeah, this could make my business be much bigger, but I'm gonna have to put the work in up front. I got that. That mindset is totally different than how can I pay the next bill. So it's something like that. I feel like your new chapter could have, yeah, a totally new way of making money in it. Natalie, thank you. Natalie, feeling a little lost at the moment. Sorry to hear that. What direction should you take? Makes sense. Oh, good. Okay. Natalie, find a new approach to a friend. Friendships. Huh. No, not to a friend. Hang on. Sort my hair out. Um, to friendships. Who we hang around with is very important because we are transmitters and receivers. We are energetic beings, vibrational beings, and we pick up the vibrations of those around us. We can't help it. Everyone does it. Not just empaths. Everyone does it. Put us in a room full of people, we are going to start to think alike and vibrate alike. I saw it when I was being a neurotherapist. I would have EEG equipment. My customer would be on EEG equipment, and I could change. If I went into a meditative state, their brain waves would start getting into a meditative state too. We know that, right? We can go and meditate in a temple, and it feels very different. And a place where a lot of people have meditated feels very different, and it's way easier. Or meditating with people that are good meditators is way easier. We pick up the vibrations. We can't help it. And so this is why you've got to be very careful about who you choose to be around. Be really picky. Really picky. We might think it's a skill to be able to be around anyone and be able to relate to anyone and be very open like that. And it kind of is a skill, but it's not good for us. It's way better for us to be really picky. That's self-love, being really picky about who we have around us, and recognizing who is good for you, who raises your vibration, who makes you feel better, who, when you're around them, when you're picking up their vibrations, which you will, adds to your vibration, and who takes away from it. I really understood this, but it was through like just backing away from everybody and being completely alone for a while. And then when you let people back into your life, it's like, ooh, you drain me. And like, oh, you feel great. There was more, ooh, you drain me energy around me that had been going on around me before. What else, Natalie? Be vulnerable and self-love. That's a self-loving thing to do. It is. And it's so, Natalie, I think this is saying that you've kind of trained yourself to be very open and loving and being and able to, find a way to be around any kind of person. Very amenable, very, yeah, just able to deal with any kind of an energy. There's obviously a benefit in that skill, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you. It's not the self-loving thing to do. It might be the external loving thing to do, but that isn't your job. That isn't your job. Your life is your own. Self-love is the cornerstone of everything. We can't really use our energy for what we came here to do unless we do that self-loving thing. So it's going to make you feel vulnerable because you're going to shut down from people. In other words, you got people around you that you think are giving you security, and they're not. They're taking you down. They're taking your energy down. It's actually you that is providing them with security because you lift them up, and that's why it feels draining, but you're not feeling that drain because you're just so used to it. It's going to make you feel vulnerable to pull away from these people. And it can be friendships, so it can be anyone that you're around. It's time to get really picky. Bring your energy back to yourself. I'm going to get some more coffee. Bring your energy back to yourself and be more picky. So imagine having self-love. Self-love, the way I learned it best was imagining I've got a young 5-year-old version of myself that lives in my heart, and it's my job to take care of her to the best ability, to my best ability. So imagining that I have an absolutely cherished, adored child with me at all times, and it's me, and I've got to take care of her. Now, would I want her to be around the drug addicts and alcoholics and the dangerous people, the people that are going to take her energy down? Do I want her to be around those people? Or do I want her to be around really good people that are going to take care of her and all of that? I want her to be around really good people. So that's how I did the self-love thing, is by just, it's that concept. Does everyone know about the concept of the Dalai Lama? The Dalai Lama is a being that reincarnates over and over again. And when one of them dies, they, I don't know, monks or whatever are meditating and they're like, oh, there's another one being born right now in this place. They go. It's like the Jesus story. They go and it's like, yes, this is the child. This is the future Dalai Lama. And they take that child and they love that child. They put the Dalai Lama in the best possible conditions for them to be super, super, super wise. They have like the best childhood ever. And so they kind of create the Dalai Lama. They probably could have taken anyone, put them in those conditions, and you turn into the Dalai Lama. You turn into this wise being. But that's what they do each time. And that's kind of what we've got to do to ourselves. Find out about that, because that's it's interesting. I can't remember where I learned about that, but I just find it fascinating how they bring up the Dalai Lama. Do that for yourself now. We can't go back in time and pick new parents, but what we can do is start parenting ourselves now. Interesting one. Hello, Valeria. So anyone that wants a mini read, just check the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat. It tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there, because it's by donation. PayPal link in there, which you can use. It's my preferred method. Or you can use Super Chat or Super Sticker here in YouTube as well, if that stuff doesn't work for you very well. And if you've got a question for your higher self, put a capital Q at the start of your comment so that I can find it easier after you've done your donation. I'll do that for you. It's making perfect sense. You're very empathic. You do absorb people's energies. Yeah. And you love the teachings of the Dalai Lama. Well, there you go. So, yeah, so do your research on the Dalai Lama then. Well, that's good that I mentioned that. And how the Dalai Lama is brought up as a child, because it's fascinating if you do that same thing for yourself now. Honestly, anyone would be incredible like the Dalai Lama if they were brought up like that. Do that for yourself now. And that just goes to show, doesn't it? The Dalai Lama. It's not just, they can't just like be in the world and be around all kinds of people and be like that. No, they've got to be brought up very specifically to be like that. I'm getting back into the tarot here. What else do we need for the collective? What do we need to know? Let's do the miserable lady deck. Let's see if we can get the happy ladies out this time. The so below deck in this Book of Shadows tarot. Slippy cards today. Let's go in here. It's 25 degrees. That's too cold for me. I need the aircon remote. Too cool. I'll pull out of that. What else do we need to know? So we've got the Divine Feminine here. She's in the unknown at the moment. She's having to tend to in the environment. They're both making a decision, and she's going to be happy. She's going to be happy in the end about this way, because the Divine Masculine needs to make a definitive decision and be in this. Actually choose it consciously, not be bamboozled into it. Now what do we have? We've got the Magician manifesting it. Nice. Using all the resources that we've got to manifest it, and that doesn't mean being the toxic feminine of manipulation, because that's what we do the best. Three of Chalices and the Three of Pentacles. 2 threes. Yeah, planning and other people, working with other people. Let's see what it says in this book. We're manifesting it. It's a group effort kind of thing. It's not just us. And it's not just them either. Double deck techniques. 3 of Pentacles. First of all, after a flurry of activity, perhaps a little or a lot of mass, this woman's hard woman and passionate vision have paid off. I think it means hard work. This woman's hard work and passionate vision have paid off. She has created what she intended and seems very pleased with the result, manifesting a goal. And that's kind of planning, taking it slowly, being in it for the long haul as well, I'm getting from that. And the 3 of Cups, Chalices, 3 of Cups. These 3 women are gathered in a joyous celebration. The Divine blesses them and undines during the party. Their act creates more joy and brings happy energy into being. A spontaneous, unexpected joy or pleasure. Three of Pentacles, 3 of Chalices can also be about manifesting things with other people, about planning and about collaborations and all of that as well. We're manifesting it together, the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The 10 of Pentacles, the everything, the happiness, the happily ever after, especially it's tangible, it's locked in the material plane. Family gathers in celebration. Wow, 3 cards of celebration, huh? Generations represent cycles of life and connections between people through time. The older generations cared for their homes and taught the younger. The younger in their turn will continue the traditions and care for the elders. A stable and abundant life. Nice. So the Magician, manifesting this. She has all the tools in place and has created her sacred space, is clear on what she hopes to accomplish. That's where we're getting to now, getting that clarity and a choice and being in it, willing to do whatever it takes to get there. She's but a few short moments and a few important words away from manifesting change in her life and in the world. Wow. using knowledge, resources, and will to create positive change in the world. So, you know how I was saying before, this moon card, the divine feminine is in the moon card at the moment. Like, I don't really know. And you know, sometimes, oh, maybe I'm making this all up. Is this really what I want? And, you know, going for readings like, is this my person really? That shows that we're not this energy. We're not like, yeah, I'm dead set on it. And then we're asking like the divine masculine be dead set on me when we're not dead set on them yet. The process that we're going through at the moment is actually getting to the point where we're not only choosing it consciously and all in 100% on that, but it's about that will thing as well, because it's going to be tricky when it starts off. It's about being willing to do whatever it takes once you're in it, because there's going to be criticism, there's going to be jealousy, there's going to be tower moments. It's come out over and over again that when this starts off, it's not going to be easy. Last thing we want to do is to get into a codependent relationship again. We definitely want the divine masculine to be ready and to be choosing it themselves. Don't want to convince them of that. No, why would we want to convince someone to be in a relationship with us? Look at this card. Look at her. She's like, she's exhausted, eh? She's exhausted. Eight of Swords. She's like, what can she do? She can't. There's no manipulation here. That's the toxic feminine manipulation. She can't do it. She can't manipulate it into being. Like, so the magician energy, sometimes we think we're more powerful than we are. We can manifest a life, yes, but what we can't do is change someone else. We can't manifest it out of them. Do you know what I mean? We can manifest things in our life, yes. But as soon as we get focused on a particular thing, a particular job, a particular person, we can't manifest it out of them. They've got to manifest it themselves. That's what this reading is saying. You've both got to manifest it, and you've both got to be ready at the same time, and that's what makes it tricky. So some are using your energy and you're getting exhausted by it, to try and get them to manifest them to be ready instead of yourself to be ready. Eight of Swords. Let's just check what it says here. This woman is in a complex situation, right? She has gathered all the facts, or so she thinks. She has devised complicated hypotheses and plans, yet they all seem to lead nowhere. Or even worse, they make a bad situation worse. Not knowing how to solve a problem or diffuse a negative situation is what that is. And then we've got the Empress, divine feminine. Yeah, the divine feminine. I've got her out twice, and we don't have the divine masculine out in here. This is all about the feminine. Strength. Be strong and keep going. Tenacity. Keep going. This is saying that the divine feminine hasn't locked it in as much as we try and tell ourselves that we have, that we're ready. We're not, is what it's saying. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite at that point, and they're not quite at that point either, the divine masculine. Nearly there, on the threshold, patience. This has been coming out over and over and over again for months and months and months. All year, in fact. This is the year of nothing. What? This is the year of nothing. I was watching some astrology of what next year is going to be for me, for Taurus. And then I was thinking about this last year. It's just been nothing. Like, seriously. I haven't had a relationship. There's not been any great gains in my business. It's just, it's almost like stayed exactly where it was all year. After a lot of growth, plateau. Everything it's just been nothing this year. Anyone else? But a lot of, sometimes we need that, right? Because it's life is easy when we've got external validations and relationships going on and exciting things happen and money coming in and growth. And the times where it's stagnant, when there's nothing happening, it's not that it's bad. It doesn't have to be, but it's just stagnant. There's no growth anywhere. That is when we really got to do the inner work, because that's when we've got to face ourselves. When we're not getting those external validations, when we don't have like some new squeeze to make us feel good, or that ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching going off on our phones. In numerology, you're in a 9 year, is that right? This year, nothing, right? It's just been stagnant. It's like we might as well have not lived this year, but there's been a lot of inner work because of it. That's why meditation is so challenging, right? It's why the void is so challenging. It's why being a hermit is so challenging as well. It's when we've got to really face ourselves when we're not getting that. It's like, can you still be happy without a partner, without anything going on, without anyone able to come to the island, without anything significant going on in your life? It's the year of nothing. Nothing external. It's like a complete retrograde this year. Apparently it's going to change next year. I feel it. I do feel it. For myself. Arabella. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I really haven't accomplished anything this year. Anything significant. I should check my YouTube numbers, because it's I've probably earned exactly the same amount of money. I know less. I think it's less. I think I've earned less money this year. Oh, I spent a lot of money there. Yeah, it's been such a nothing year, externally. A very rich year, internally, however. Hello, chicken. Hey. Is that it? Here she is. Me too. We have a look with tomorrow's Powerball. Oh, what if you get the green? I almost won the lottery one time. Have I told you that story? My ex was disabled. He had one leg. Well, sometimes we'd go out. Well, sometimes he'd have his leg on, sometimes not. Sometimes he'd drive me places without his leg on, and I would just like hop out the car and do stuff. I think he had his leg on that time, but even if he had his leg on, his prosthetic, it was still difficult for him to get about, so I'd tend to be the one running around doing stuff. Anyway, what was it? He needed change or something like that. I don't know. He needed some change for something. And so I said, I'll just run into the mall there and I'll get some change. But it was a Saturday. There was a massive lineup at the kiosk, like one of those where you can buy newspapers and stuff like that, and lotto tickets. There was a big line because it was lotto day. And because I was lining up, and I thought, I feel a bit guilty about just asking for change with all of these people around. So I'll just buy a lotto ticket for him instead, and that'll give him the change that he needs. So that's what I did. I bought a lotto ticket, went back to the car. I'm like, I didn't get you change. I got you a lotto ticket instead and the change. So here you go. Good luck. Anyway, he stuck everything in his wallet, including that lotto ticket. And then the day of the draw, he got in touch with me. He was at work. He messaged me and he said, have you heard? I can't remember whether he told me first or I told him or what. But the winning ticket hadn't been claimed yet, and it was bought from that kiosk on the day that I bought it. I'm like, no way. I messaged him or he messaged me, I don't know. And he said that he daren't look. He's like, I can't. He said, I'll wait until I'm at home and we'll look together, right? And the day went on, and it was a lot of money, and still no one was coming forward with it. And it's like, it was looking more and more like we'd won. So he came home, and again, he was like, I don't want to, keep the wallet away, like put it in the middle of the table. It's in there, kind of thing. We took our time, and we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do if we won? It was quite the day. It was the day that I won the lotto. We went through everything. We went through all of the things as if we had one. Anyway, once we checked the ticket, no, it wasn't ours. But I'm telling you what, I know what it feels like to win the lotto because of that day. Can't remember who did. Probably someone that was there when I was there getting the ticket. So, will she have luck? Yes. You might win $15. That tends to be what I win on the lotto. $15. You're gonna have luck. I've been having a lot of dreams lately, Arabella. Interesting dreams. You're not going out straight away. We're not playing that game, chicken. Okay, let's get some more tarot out. Starchild tarot for the collective. Is there anything else that we need to know here? The divine masculine, divine feminine. Queen of Swords, having boundaries. I'll read this out of the book. I will. Because I do like this deck, and I like the book, and I like the stuff that she says in there. Just put her there. Every different reader, every different tarot card maker, creator, got this. See these different nuances and have these different ways of interpreting the ways that our guides want to work through us. So they show me the Queen of Swords, I think one thing. They show someone else the Queen of Swords, I think something else. And it's for this very reason. This one, Book of Shadows, it's based on our life experiences and our energy, right? Your strength and powers of discernment are needed at this time. Oh yeah, strength. I kind of washed over that one. Your strength and powers of discernment are needed at this time. You may want to detach your inner emotions or fears from your given situation in order to make an objective decision. Decision time, says the Lovers. An objective decision, not based on feelings. A need for an unbiased opinion about something. Look to all the facts before making any judgments. Think with your head this time as opposed to your heart. Yeah. Oh, chicken. Such a pain in the ass. In and out. She's in and out. Why? Why should I let you out? Give me a good reason. Because you're going to want to come back in again soon. Huh? Just because she wants. Just because I want to. Off she goes. It's just stuff. I don't feed her. Yes, that's the message. Because it's not enough. Feelings are not enough. We place too much emphasis on that. Feelings, choosing things with our heart, and not enough emphasis on choosing things with our head, especially around relationships. Good, Jessica. I learn from these as well. That's why I keep on doing it, because this is what a person I get the most from this cafe in the readings. The picker cards tend not to be for me. I mean, I tap into experiences that I've had and stuff in everything that I do, in all the readings that I do, but I don't feel that that's my guidance. Occasionally, I'll go through spates of the energy updates being my guidance, but generally it's not. But these really gives me that personal information. It's helpful, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't carry on with it otherwise because it wrecks my YouTube channel because it only gets about 60 views. So it brings down the rest of the channel. It messes up the algorithm. I'm getting less views, like the dailies are getting 500. They were getting 1,000 before. Not good. Could just be the time of year that. So we've got to choose with our heads more. What we're talking about in relationships there is you've got to be on the same page. Both got to be choosing it. Both got to be investing in it. You've got to think like, are they really compatible with me? Do we want the same things? Is it a wise decision? Now, I wanted to make more hard decisions because my mum would go on and on about how she chose my dad, and it was all very superficial. Like, not even whether they're compatible or anything like that. Like, he's got thick hair, and I've got thin hair, and I want my children, and I hate my thin hair. I want to choose someone with thick hair. Like, and she would tell me that stuff. And it's like, you chose him because he's got thick hair. There was no depth there, and it kind of sent me in the opposite direction of wanting to choose with my head. And sure, I'm not going to pick someone based on what they look like that, but there needs to be compatibility of the deeper things. Because a relationship, we've got to be truthful with ourselves and not think that love's enough. It's not. Love anyone. But can we be in a healthy relationship with other people? And do we actually choose it for a long time? We can never know definitively that we're always going to go in the same direction, but we can at least, like, based on the information that we've got now, find out before we dive in. I didn't when I got married. I didn't find out those things. I didn't have the wisdom to do that. We're actually on the same page, you know. Seven of Swords. Freezing. Still. You dormant. Go out. 5 minutes later, they want to come back in. I know. Cats are terrible like that. Or like they won't even go out when you open the door for them. They're like, I just want to keep my options open. Can you stay there with the door open for a while I decide which way I want to go? Seven of Swords. I do love cats though for that. Very empowered. That's what they've taught me. Empowerment. The Seven of Swords often illustrates a challenge that may be associated with some kind of dishonesty, deceit, or illusion, whether from yourself or someone else. I was feeling it's from yourself. Yeah. Sometimes we just want to be right. Sometimes we just want to get into a relationship. We haven't really thought it through. It's not really for us. The universe holds it away from us. And we get it later down the line when we're finally giving it up. We get it. It's like, oh God, I'm glad I didn't get my wish there. I see now how it wasn't right for me, but we don't see it in the moment. We've got this tenacity and we try and make it happen without making this, a wiser decision, a clear decision based on our choosing someone with our head. This may indicate an avoidance of truth and consequences that show up when least expected. We know the consequences. We've already lived it. The consequences of getting together and locking something in a relationship that isn't quite right for us. Be careful what we wish for. Sometimes we just want to be right. We want to get someone in a relationship because we like them. We have feelings for them. And we just get ourselves into trouble. If there's some kind of secrecy taking place, a new approach or solution is highly encouraged. Omitting the truth is never a good idea, especially if a positive outcome is desired. So this is asking us to be totally honest as well, because they're going to be doing the same thing too. They want to find out who we really are. It's also advised that you remain cautious with others who may not have your best interests at heart. Time for clarity and truth. This is also about that energy. You know, when you start dating someone and you don't really want them to know because you think there's something wrong with it, that what you're looking for is commitment and you want to have a family. And it's like, don't tell them that because no guy ever wants that. And so I've got to hold that back from them. It's like, no, you don't want to hold that back from them. You want to tell them, because some of them do want that. And if you're looking for that, don't fool yourself and think you can get together with a player and then convince them that that's what they want, or that they'll change their mind, because doesn't everyone want that? No, everyone doesn't want that. So that's what that's about too, is don't hold stuff back. Six of Crystals and the Ace of Swords. This is truth coming in. Reciprocity and truth. Yeah, will they really add to your life? Let's not fool ourselves there. Some of us have just got so good at loving that we'll pick up these men with no purpose, and we see a potential in them, but they could be so great. Well, anyone could be. Or if they're not being that, then they're not being that, and they're not going to add to your life. They're just going to drain you. Six of Crystals. Are they going to be reciprocal? Have they actually got something to offer? Are they already doing it for themselves? You need to find someone that's already doing it for themselves. Six of Crystals indicates a state of balance and abundance in your life. You recognize the value of your relationships, spirituality, and mutual benefit of loving support of others. This is a balanced person. They've already got that balance. This is also a time for inner growth and prosperity. You've risen to the occasion. You can now look back on the choices you have made that have led to your state of knowing. How will you move up from here? So this is someone that has made good choices in their life for themselves, or they're doing that now for themselves. They find that balance within themselves. Look for someone like that. If you're doing it, they should be doing it too. Opportunities, gifts, or rewards may be closer than you think. Here you go. Reverse this as an imbalance of energies. If you're being generous with others in some way, be careful. You're not taken advantage of. And it's not that they're taking advantage of you. It's just you're opening the door to them and you're letting them in. And being generous to them. Who's going to say no to generosity? Nobody. But this is saying, like, don't partner down. Don't keep on choosing someone that isn't as good as you and then trying to love them. It's the mothering thing. We've not got to do it in relationships. Six of Crystals reverse may also indicate a need to maintain a sense of selflessness with your generosity. No, it doesn't mean that. Not for us anyway. Are there motives behind what you're doing, or are you working from a place of love, self-love? If this card is pertaining to relationships, it could be that there's an imbalance of energy being used or transferred between two people. Is someone giving more than the other? In all likelihood, yes. In all likelihood, the people that are watching me are far too willing to get into imbalanced relationships and give more than they'll receive. Ace of Swords. I thought that was the wrong way around then. Ace of Swords. Truth is coming in, is what I'm feeling from this card. It makes me feel a bit nervous. For some reason. Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords indicates a heightened sense of spiritual and mental clarity. It's the emergence of great determination or power. It's a new beginning. I'm not feeling that. An accelerated shift in consciousness. It's a truth coming in. Something is revealed. And it leads to an accelerated shift in consciousness. Being able to move ahead with wisdom and truth. The truth comes in. Something's been on hold. The truth comes in, which sets it off on the fast forward. It's the start of things. So now we're getting to it. The actual movement forward here. It starts with the truth, something spoken and revealed. Whatever that means in your situation. If anyone else wants a mini read, get them in now because I'm going to finish up soon. Get on with my day. Something spin, yes it did. 5 of Cups. Ooh. Ooh, lack focus. Nobody loves me. The 5 of Cups reflect the deep energies of change that emerge from instability and may indicate a time of grief or loss as you struggle to see a light at the end of the tunnel. This card often also highlights those moments in life when you find yourself being emotionally challenged or when an inner survival mode kicks in. Know that a positive resolution is still very possible, but it will depend on how you focus your energy and thoughts. Yeah. Try to resist the inevitable change. Try not to resist the inevitable changes, or else you might find yourself stuck in a rut, repeating the same lesson again. This is a time of transformation and regeneration. Regret, obsession, self-pity, and need for forgiveness, adjustment. Nothing good is going to come of those energies. And this is what we're in the moon energy, flip-flopping from that to being positive. And just know that nothing good is going to come from that energy. So as we're flip-flopping and we're on this emotional roller coaster and sometimes going to this 5 of Cups, that is not the time to move forward. If we've got regret, obsession, self-pity, that's not a time for movement forward. Not for the divine masculine, not for the divine feminine either. We've got to have purpose and clarity and choose this and be willing to do whatever it takes. Be consciously choosing it and go, right, with all the information that I've got, and I have got the information because I've asked, and I'm not holding back anymore. So there's a definite need for conversation here. So when a truth comes in, there's a need to get all of that information. Anything outstanding that you need, if you need to ask them, like, do you want a family? Just all of those things, all of the information that you need. It needs to be a big conversation. Everything revealed, nothing held back. Last thing we want to do is to get into a relationship. We want this next chapter to last. Knight of Cups might have been coming out. That's how you feeling at the moment, Natalie? Dejected. 5 of Wands. Ding! Another card of change. 5. Well, the Knight of Cups nearly came out, but it didn't again. 5 of Wands. Practice, 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 practice. To me, this is always the card of practice. You may be experiencing some setbacks at this time. As surrounding ideas or values may clash with your own, oh God, then we ask and it clashes, and then we're like, oh, holy crap, I thought they were on the same page as me. It could be that you find yourself up against someone else who is equally ambitious as you are. Maybe stubborn too. If you feel as though you've stumbled, know that you have the strength to pick yourself up again. In other words, they're going to come in with some kind of truth, is what it feels like here. And then that's when you need the big conversation. And then, oh my God, how disappointing that you're not exactly on the same page. There's going to be some work to do. Or they're not the right one. It could be that you will find yourself up against someone else who is equally ambitious as you are. 2 strong souls. If you feel as though you've stumbled, know that you have the strength to pick yourself up again. Yeah. And so if you find out that you're not on the same page, that it's not reciprocal, or that it's going to be a no-go. We need to be strong enough to let it go. Now more than ever, it's important that you honor your heart and make your priorities clear. This card is not about teamwork, but personal goals and ambitions. So don't be too eager to partner. We have to be really firm in what it is that we want and not back down, not be that one that is too fast to acquiesce. Competition delays, unsatisfied desires, redirection of energies, breaking away, independence. So there could be a conversation and maybe you're not right for me. And then a contemplation, like a holy shit, it's supposed to be perfect. In my fantasies, when I was on this roller coaster, when I was on the high points of the roller coaster, I was just thinking it was going to be perfect. And now they're telling me that there's this and there's this. And that wasn't in my idea of perfect. A decision to be made. Another one. That's what it's all about. This. The lovers. Decisions. A choice to be made. There are stages of this choice to go through as well. We're being slowed right down from making these choices. So we've already made a choice along the way, maybe a few choices. There's at least 2 more choices to come. In other words, if you've already got someone in mind, they might approach you, tell you something, you have a conversation, you back off from each other again. And keep on choosing, deciding about it, and then coming back together and choosing again. It's important. So this isn't a light reading at all. It's almost saying like, be sure you know what you're getting into here. And we can never be fully sure, but we can do better than we've done before. We can find out that information. We can ask the right questions. Is there anything else that we need to know about this? Getting ready for it and making this choice. Anything else that we need to know? Tenderness and drought. This is about self-love. Being tender to yourself while there's the drought, while you're alone, while it's not happening. Self-love through this. If we can't love ourselves, like I was saying, 2021 has been the nothing year. If we can't love ourselves through the drought, when stuff isn't happening, we can't love ourselves. Easy to love yourself when there's money coming in, when there's new relationships, when there's excitement, when there's a busy social life. Not so easy to love yourself when there's nothing going on. And so this is like, be sure to be tender with yourself while there's nothing going on. While you're in this waiting game, while you're making the decisions and all of that. You've started to ask the right questions point blank. We've got to, otherwise you're wasting your time, aren't you? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point of being on a date with someone? And then when they tell us, no, it's a no-go, you get up from that table in that restaurant and you walk out. It's not because they've annoyed you or anything like that. It's because there is no point in wasting any more of my time or energy on this person. They're not the right person for me. It's not a judgment of them, but it's a judgment. It's like, you're not the right person for me. See ya. Won't want to be ya. What else do we need to know at this point? And for me, like, I get approached by so many guys when I'm out, and I ain't ever going to say yes to any of them, because I'm not meeting a guy like that. What the hell? I already know that they're not the guy for me when they approach me when I'm out like that. Already. No, that's not how I'm going to meet a guy. I'm going to meet them in actual life, real life, you know. Do something healthy. At last! Trap. Oh no. World abandoned. Oh God. So some of you are feeling trapped. And this wild abandon card is just like throw all your clothes off and dance in the fountain, you know. This could be very tempting, is if you've been in a trap, if you've been in a drought, just to go, oh, what the hell, I'm just going to get into anything because there's been a drought. Because I've felt trapped, you know. We'll be careful of that energy. That's the settling energy. That's like, to hell with this. I'm going to have a relationship because there's been a drought, because there's nothing happened all year and I deserve to have something at least. Watch out. Oh God, there's 2 warnings. I feel like I need to get another couple of cards out. And just be careful of that. That could be a trap. Throwing caution to the wind, that is. Instead this. Yeah, instead this. Old wounds and letting go. Let's not fall into those same old traps again. Tend to our old wounds instead. Let go of them. Oh, this is a healing process right now. It's dolphins in that order. She's also let go of someone in the past. Look, she's got someone new here waiting for her. Old wounds, people from the past, rejecting them now. People that we've chosen through our wounding. In other words, people that we chose because we didn't feel whole, and we chose them because they could fill the hole that we felt inside of us. Letting those ones go. The wound mates. We'll do that instead of this reaction kind of stuff. The neediness. It's like nothing's happening. I want something to happen in my life. I'm just going to go with anybody. Well, like, you'll do. You'll do. No, let's not do that. Let's not waste all this good work that we've been doing. We need to keep on with that. So there's a letting go process. Still, I feel it. And I feel it coming. I feel there's probably New Year celebrations, or in the next couple of days I'll bump into my ex, actually. Probably bump in, and I know the conversation. It's come up in dreams already. I know the conversation that I need to have with him. I wish it could be another way. I wish we could be friends, but we can't. That actually needs to be said. So there we go. Thanks everyone for coming along. Hope that was helpful as ever. Choices. Let's make sure that we're clear as can be for this next chapter. Hey Fox, you're late. Finished. So yeah, join our Facebook group, everybody. If you're not already in there, it's here. There we go. And then we can stay in touch when we're not live. Let's do this again in 2 days on New Year's Eve. The last Psychic Cafe of the year. I'll leave that on top to remind us it's all about the choice right now. Or to remind me when I get it back out. Gratitude. We'll be grateful for this. There's not many people doing the work. Just a reminder of that. You're welcome, Arabella. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Natalie. See you next time. So, yeah, I'm going to do a pick a card, record a pick a card today, and it's going to be 2022. What's your new chapter? Yeah, don't forget to click like on this video. Thanks for the reminder, Arabella. See ya. Have a good one. See you in 2 days. Bye.